YouTube, what the crap's going on? Welcome to the Battle of Gadira. I play as the Iceni this time, and I know I kind of jumped right in on this one. And I'm thinking of a different one. I play as Rome, and I just played as Rome. I know you just saw that, but a lot of you complained because I hardly ever play as Rome. So I brought another Primarian army. This is actually the same build that I used against Scythed Desert Fox. And this just cracks me up because I came up an army, I was playing against Pontus here, and I was like, man, I'm a little worried about chariots. And so I go to play against Pontus. This map, I've noticed that a lot of the maps in Rome 2 now are actually featuring a lot more terrain, which I'm actually really enjoying. So really liking the new maps, a nice addition. Anyway, same army, 4 Hastati, 5 Principes, 3 Auxiliary and Archers, Syrian Archers, 2 Triarii, Legatus, and then all the rest are Equites. Got 4 Equites in this particular battle, and they all have nice chevrons, which makes them pretty sturdy cavalry units, actually. That's the nice thing about Rome, is that it's very cost-effective in the Primarian state. I like it. Allows you to bring huge numbers. My Syrian Archers here just shred this Eastern Javelinman unit. It's wavering after a single volley from my 3 Archers. Syrian Archers, again, very real threat to most skirmishers other than Cretan Archers, and even then, you know, they're going to be a decent threat. The Cretan Archers should win, though. So I'm going to fight in a pretty true to Rome fashion here. I'm going to bring my Hastati forward. They're going to do the initial engagement while I hold my Principes in reserve to see what my opponent comes with, because right now all I see is Thurios Spears, Eastern Spearmen, Mercenary Celtic Warriors, Hillmen, so lots of really trashy infantry except for this Pontic Swordsman, which is just kind of okay. And then all I saw was a light horse somewhere over here, but some Noble Blood Cav was hidden, so you're seeing it come up right here, so I'm like, alright, so my opponent's got some cavalry hidden somewhere, that's fine. Still watching out for chariots. I see this horse skirmisher sitting way back here. I'm like, alright, horse skirmisher, no big deal. I go ahead and engage my Hastati. Hastati going to be more than a match for Eastern Spearmen, Thurios Spears, Mercenary Celtic Warriors. It ought to do very well against most of these units. So yeah, get my Hastati engaged. It's going to tear apart these Hillmen. Thurios Spears are not going to have such easy javelin throws anymore. They're throwing at my Principes, but they're under cover, and it's really not going to do much against their shielded side. And I use my Archers to force back all of his skirmishers. At this point, I'm going to bring in my Cav and come smash into his skirmishers back here. He's going to chase me with his Pontic Swords. Then it's when I see this. I see 1 chariot unit over here, and I'm like, great, scythed chariots. Gonna have to get my Cav, but except I hadn't actually, I hadn't actually noticed it just yet. But there wasn't just 1 scythed chariot unit, not just 2 scythed chariot units, but wait for it, 3 scythed chariots. Troll-lo-lo-lo-lo-lo-lo-lo. Yeah, so this is totally a troll build right here to bring 3 scythed chariots. Chariots are absolutely and utterly broken right now. And again, huge mistake. I should have completely headed off his chariots. Like, just pulled my men in front of them, if anything, because attacking them from the side won't do any good because they'll just keep moving. People always say, like, I hear a lot of comments like, oh, chariots aren't, they're not unbalanced. They're not unbalanced at all. You know, cavalry just destroys them. Yeah, I don't see that. In fact, I'm actually losing a lot of my cavalry here. You can see them all mowed over. Again, should have gotten in front of them. My mistake. But yeah, cavalry does not just mow down chariots. Chariots have a lot of health. They're not easy to kill. They are also heavily armored, and they have scythes, which pretty much cut stuff apart when they drive past. So you can see his chariots here, 9 out of 9, 9 out of 9. And 9 out of 9, even though they got intercepted by cavalry and then run through all sorts of infantry. They're bogged down, still being chased by cavalry. And then look, all they have to do is just get through, and then they just start racking up kills. Look how quick they can kill a unit like Syrian Archers. Look at the numbers on that go down. Anyway, I think he's finally lost just a few chariots, but that's after plowing through all that. Again, up front, my Hastati are still beating down most of his men, and I'm using my Principes where I need to, but my Hastati are pretty much still alive and doing an excellent job. Hastati are actually really good units in this patch. Not like that they can go beat down everything, but because they are very cost effective. So yeah, to kind of defeat my opponent's strategy here, number 1, he's blobbing all of his scythed chariots, which is a mistake. He could use them much more effectively had he split up, come down several points of the battlefield. Would have made it much harder for me to stop him, but he blobbed them. And I don't know what my opponent's intention was here. He could have just been like, hey, look at me, I'm having a fun time using these goofy chariots. Maybe he's new and doesn't really know that this is... and again, not trying to be mean. It's fine, it's just a game. So, not asking you to like call my opponent names or something here. He could have just been trolling for fun, just to see what people say, just trying to get a raise out of someone. I don't know, but I mean, it is definitely kind of troll-tacular to bring 3 chariots. And so, anyway, he's not even using them that well. But even not using them that well, he manages to get a pretty fair number of kills on them. So this is even after having been intercepted by cavalry, shot at by archers now while they're just sitting here. They're each still going to get at least 100 kills, which is not bad. All things considered, I made it out of here very well. If my opponent had used these guys properly, I would be completely and utterly dead. Look at that. Braced legions, just like they were butter. Goes right through them. More braced legions back here. Gonna plow right through them. My general can't stop them because, see, the chariots are spread out, so your cavalry can't stop them. The only way to stop chariots is generally with shot cavalry, and you have to have a huge blob of them and just blob the chariots down. I mean, that's usually the only way you can stop them. Otherwise, it's just very difficult. My general actually dies here in a second. So I'd use the loyalty of the 10th there just briefly. Finally, I'm going to mow down his chariots, but again, they ended up getting a lot of kills, considering that they were horribly misused. But again, not trying to be mean to my opponent. This kind of thing is something that you're going to see in any Total War online game. Yeah, I mean, the rest of his infantry has no prayer. This is really just more of a discussion on chariots. Their chariots need to be nerfed. I don't know how exactly you fix them, but what they are right now isn't right. They're just goofy. Very goofy. I think that if you just made it to where they could run amok from missile fire, it would help balance them. Because it's kind of like elephants. It's easy to run elephants amok, and then you lose control of them, and they may run into your own men. Capping them might be a good idea, but I mean, they are quite expensive. I don't know. Take their health down a little bit or something. Whatever the case is. Give archers a bonus versus chariots, or javelins used to have a bonus versus chariots in Rome 1, so anything like that will work. But I mean, look, even with complete misuse and having cav all over them and missile fire and all this stuff, each one of them still averages out a lot of kills. But I mean, this is nothing. I've seen chariots get 600, 700, 800 kills in this patch. I can try and use them at some point and show you. I mean, they are devastating against a faction like Rome. To have brought 3 chariots and not completely destroyed Rome is pretty excuseless, to be honest. It just means that my opponent got outplayed here big time. And again, not saying that because I'm like, oh, look at me, I'm so great, Heir's so great. I've repeatedly told you that I don't think I'm some kind of great player. I'm just trying to call it as it is here. With 3 chariots, you should have completely destroyed Rome. And again, this is not to like shame you or make you feel bad. I'm helping people understand the units here. This isn't really a discussion about my opponent per se, because he paid for the game. He can play the game however he wants, regardless of whether we like it. So I'm a big fan of that whole free market thing, even though I don't necessarily think that it's my favorite thing. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed that. HeirofCarthage signing off for now.